We are following some breaking news. A New York appeals court has overturned a more than $500 million penalty that had been levied against President Trump and the Trump Organization. It comes after a judge had found Trump fraudulently filed financial statements to lenders and insurers. The penalty with interest came to more than $515 million before being tossed out by an appeals court this morning. NewsNation's Rich McHugh is live in New York with the very latest. And Rich, we just heard from President Trump on Truth Social.
Yeah, he's obviously taking this as a giant win for him, for his sons, executives in the Trump Organization, at a loss for Letitia James, New York Attorney General. $500 million in fines thrown out by the New York Appeals Court just a short time ago. This is in the civil case against Donald Trump, stemming back to 2022. One of the judges wrote in the majority, he wrote, the penalty was an excessive fine barred by the 8th Amendment. Now, in his Truth Social post just now, President Trump essentially proclaimed total victory, praised the decision by New York courts, called the case a political witch hunt, called the case political interference, said everything he did was correct, even perfect, quote, called AG Letitia James corrupt and incompetent. This goes back to February 2024. A New York judge ordered Trump to pay the state $364 million for, quote, ill-gotten gains. That has since ballooned to $537 million with interest. New York Attorney General Letitia James, she can appeal this to the state Supreme Court. She brought the case in 2022, alleging Trump oversaw a scheme to mislead companies he was in business with by inflating the worth of those companies to receive essentially more favorable loans. Trump's legal team has always said that this has been driven by politics. The judges here, Nichole, and the majority concluded today that this penalty was, quote, far from a reasonable approximation.
All right, so Rich, what does this appeals court ruling mean for that initial guilty verdict on fraud charges?
Well, essentially, the guilty verdict stands. The judges were really divided over this. I believe one of the judges wanted to throw out the case entirely. Two of the judges, if I have this correct, said a new trial should be ordered. The majority of these judges essentially said, let's come up with this. They ditched the massive financial penalty and agreed to not resolve the merits of the case. So the appeals court essentially affirmed the guilty verdict as it stands, but did away with the penalty. So for now, that's the way it stands. But in listening to what President Trump has just written on Truth Social, he's going to take this to the mat, and he intends to take this, I believe, to the Supreme Court.
Yes, I'm sure that is likely. All right, Rich McHugh in New York, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.